Hey guys, welcome back to the show. If you're new, please subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. So, in this episode, I'm back out in Custer State Park in South Dakota. One of the places I always love to stop and spend at least a day climbing is Sylvan Lake. So, on this trip, I stopped and climbed in the section called Middle Earth. So it's one of the newer areas. Few things to know about Sylvan Lake, if you haven't picked it up from my other videos that I've done about the area, is, even though a lot of the routes are bolted, they're really, you should treat them as mixed routes, because the bolting is, the ethic here is ground up and hand drill only, so the bolts are widely spaced. Oftentimes big chunks of the top are not bolted. You also should do your research about the length of the routes. A lot of the routes exceed 30 meters, so a 60-meter rope won't get you to the ground. I like to climb either with twin 60s, I've done it with an 80-meter rope before, or a 60-meter rope with a tag line works really well also. So you just want to do your research, make sure the routes you're getting on, good to go. Not every route is something that you can go up, lower down, or wrap down and clean. Sometimes you need a second to come up and clean for you. Some of the routes also will require a needles style rappel, which is a simul rappel. So again, just to reinforce the point, definitely want to do your research on the routes you're going to get on. But the Middle Earth area is pretty tame for the most part compared to the majority of Sylvan Lake. There are a few books that cover the area. The Needles is one of them. This will refer to the Sylvan Lake area as the outlets, which is a pretty common name for them. Another book is The Adventure Climbs of Herb and Jan Kahn. Now this is a really great book, but not my preferred book for Sylvan Lake. For Sylvan Lake, I go with the Needles Mini Climbing Guide. Now, this is the second edition. There is a third edition which just came out. So you can pick that up at the local climbing shop in Hill City. And I think the guiding agency has a climbing shop in Custer. So I'm sure you can pick it up there as well. So beautiful place, highly recommended. The specific area that I climbed today, this trip, was Fanghorn Hills. There's a few really good climbs there, low grade but a blast. When I climb here, even on the sport routes, I like to take up a set of offset nuts and 3 or 4 kind of finger sized cams, so maybe from like Black Diamond 0.5 up to a size 1, just to place either in between the bolts or during the runouts. One of the routes I did is a 5.7, it's called Hrum Hroom, has 4 bolts and then probably a good 30-foot run out at the top. There's another route that I did, Quickbeam, super easy route for sure, but there's like 2 bolts in the first 20 feet and then it's just run out to the top. And I actually started up, it was like, yeah, no, I gotta come back down and get gear. So always treat these routes like mixed routes and you'll be completely fine. There's almost always some extra gear you can plug in to make the routes feel much more chill. And then just remember that a lot of these routes are graded using old school grades. So, just don't get in over your head and kind of ease into it and have fun. So check out the climbing and check out some more episodes from the area to come. All right, take it easy, guys. Fanghorn Hills is one of the most popular formations in the Middle Earth climbing area. Known for several classic, easy routes, it's common to find a crowd here. This first route is called Quickbeam, and it's a pretty easy 5.5 sport route, but there are only 2 bolts in 60 feet. As you see here, I'm coming up to the second bolt where the rest of the route is about a 40-foot run out. So the need to take gear up this route is very important. This next climb is called Enting, and it's a well-protected, very straightforward trad route. Definitely worth getting on. You simply climb the crack with some finger-sized gear and stoppers. The end of the route is a little run out, but you're far enough along that if you were to fall, and it is uneasy terrain, the potential for a ground fall is very unlikely. The route shares anchors with the route to the right, which is Quickbeam. Hrum Hroom is probably the most classic route on the formation. It's a 60-foot sport route, and for the area, considered a well-protected route, although there are only 4 bolts. One of the local guides described this to me as a serious lead, air quotes there, and while it's not difficult climbing, you certainly wouldn't want to blow it at any of the clip stances. Additionally, I plugged in 2 cams along the route after the final bolt. I used a Metolius Master Cam number 2 and number 1 for protection.